parents, friends, educators, Rotarians, and most importantly, Sterling Merit recipient students, welcome to the 63rd Annual Sterling Merit Awards. Tonight, we gather to celebrate the talent, abilities, and hard work of the high school seniors from across the Peoria area. I am Bernie Drake. I'm a member of the Sterling Merit Banquet Committee, and it's a special honor for me and all Rotarians to convene tonight's banquet. At this time, I would like to introduce District Governor Ryan Byers, who will offer our invocation. Following the invocation, please remain standing and join in the singing of the National Anthem, led by Jim Bixby, accompanied by pianist John Day. Please rise for the invocation.
Thank you. The invocation that I will be offering this evening is adapted from one originally developed by a Rotary past district governor by the name of Chris Offer. If you could please join me in a spirit of reflection. With our friends beside us and no person beneath us, with the bonds of humanity between us and our worries behind us, with our goals before us and no task beyond us, with a thirst for knowledge and a dream of world peace, we are thankful for our friends and the meal that we are about to share. Thank you, shalom, assalamu alaikum, and amen.
Please be seated.
Please remain standing.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you, Jim.
As long as I've known Mr. Drake, he would do something like that. Would you all please face the flag located up here? Place your right hand over your heart and join with me in saluting this great nation of ours with our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Very good.
Good evening. As was mentioned earlier, my name is Ryan Byers, and I am the District Governor of Rotary District 6460. And I have been asked at this time to share a few words with you about what exactly Rotary is. Because even though the focus of this evening is our Sterling Merit Scholars, the organizers of the event felt it might be a good idea for the assembled group to know who exactly is hosting you. So again, I am the District Governor of Rotary District 6460, which is a group of 48 Rotary clubs that goes up to Kewanee in the north, the Metro East area down in the south, over to the Mississippi River, and we are currently situated in the easternmost part of our Rotary District here in Peoria. Now, as the district governor, I am an administrator. I am essentially the chief executive for this group of 48 clubs, but I am also an officer of Rotary's international arm. So I am pleased to welcome you, not just on behalf of Rotary District 6460, but also on behalf of Rotary International and our current international president, Shekhar Mehta, who hails from Calcutta, India. Now, if there are people in this room who know anything about Rotary, chances are good that you know Rotary as a group of individuals in your hometown who engage in community service projects. And that is absolutely 100% true. Whether that's the Rotary Club of Farmington help their downtown recover from the tragic fires that they've had within the last year, whether that's the Rotary Club of Peoria spending countless hours reading to elementary school students, most of whom probably are not read to at home, or whether that's the Rotary Club of Chillicothe hosting a Halloween party for the residents of a home with developmental disabilities. Our Rotary clubs do all of that and much, much more. If you are somebody who wants to make a difference in your own backyard, joining a Rotary club will empower you to do that. However, as I alluded to earlier, that is not all. If you just know Rotary as a local organization, you may not realize that the 5 Rotary clubs that are hosting you here this evening are all chapters of a worldwide non-governmental organization that has 1.2 million members in 200,000 clubs in 200 different countries and geographic regions. And our service is not just in our hometowns, it is also global in scope. For example, Rotary currently has a project ongoing to bring potable water to every single resident of the nation of Haiti. Rotary currently has a project ongoing and has had a project ongoing since the 1980s to completely eradicate polio from the face of the earth. And as we speak, it is endemic in just 2 countries, and there have been fewer than 6 cases in all of 2022. And perhaps most notably, in an example that's ripped from the headlines, in April, the Rotary Foundation said to its donors, "We want you to contribute money that we will dedicate to grants for the benefit of Ukraine and the countries surrounding Ukraine that are accepting their refugees." And in the month of April, Rotarians around the world heard that call, and as of the last tally, things are still being counted, in the month of April, managed to raise $13 million that will benefit Ukraine and the surrounding area. So, if you are one of the parents in the room, if you are one of the administrators up here on stage, and that sounds like something that might be of interest to you, find any Rotary Club member. They're the individuals typically with the green ribbons hanging off their name tags this evening, and I'm sure that they would love to have a conversation with you. And if you are a Sterling Merit Award recipient, don't worry, you can get involved as well. I would imagine that most of you are going to continue your educations and move on to college. Rotary has a subgroup called Rotaract, and Rotaract clubs are essentially Rotary clubs for college students and young professionals. So if anything I've said is of interest to you, go ahead and when you get to campus in the fall, look up and see whether your school has a Rotary chapter. We would love to have you. This is an organization that has changed my life, and it is an organization that I have seen empower so many people to carry out their passion in the world. So thank you and enjoy the rest of the program.
The waiters will soon be serving you dinner. In the meantime, would you please turn your attention to the screens for a short video on what our Rotary mission is all about, and then enjoy your dinner.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. In communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
Thank you. Enjoy your dinner. We will start the program about 7:15. Currently, if you would turn your attention to the screens, we will show you a short video which shows all of the projects Rotarians are involved in all across the world.
What would it take to change the world? Provide food to the hungry and water to the thirsty. Teach children to read and keep them healthy. Shelter families and train a new generation. Give the poor a chance to better themselves. Create a worldwide network of peacemakers and conquer a disease that has killed or crippled millions. Could one person do it? What about 1.2 million?
My name is Frank Wessel.
Tamara DeWill.
Gaston Cabot.
Eu sou Adélia Vilas.
Dr. Naresh Goya.
Mon nom est Awa Omar.
Gary Parrish.
Warren Kaufman.
Lisa Simmons.
Eric Kimani. Marie Singh Arora.
Megan Coutinho.
These men and women are changing the world. They're members of Rotary. Professionals and community leaders organized into more than 32,000 clubs worldwide. They volunteer at the local, regional, and international levels and dedicate themselves to a simple motto: service above self.
That's what Rotary is all about. Vision to see, faith to believe, and courage to act.
So many of us, we sit back and we go, gee, I'd really like to help somewhere in the world, but I don't know how to do it. And Rotary gives you all the tools you need.
Personalmente tengo.
Just the fact that you are a Rotarian opens doors all over the world.
For members of Rotary, no project is too big. Working with UNICEF, the World Health Organization, and the CDC, Rotary has immunized more than 2 billion children against polio and reduced the disease by more than 99% worldwide.
With not too many dollars, these Rotarians and our partners are doing a tremendous job, very effectively, very efficiently.
Rotary has spent more than $500 million on international scholarships and foreign exchange, while its graduate-level programs in conflict resolution train peacemakers from around the world.
When I started working for Interpol at the United Nations, I already had the background to understand international relations.
For Rotary members, the reward is immense and immediate.
Helping others is one of the things that I really enjoy. It makes my day.
The salary I receive spiritually is so huge that you cannot put a value on it.
Being a Rotarian is almost selfish. Yes, I help people, but I get so much in return.
When our world seems senseless and even hopeless, Rotary Club members of all races, colors, and creeds join together To care.
Hopefully we can bring some hope and some help, emotionally as well as physically.
To protect.
The job that is to be done can be done.
To connect.
But no one has a dry eye at the end of these projects because the kids will come back and ask for a picture with their doctor.
And to make a difference.
It is possible because we are Rotarians. We can do it. We should do it.
But even for 1.2 million volunteers, changing the world is no easy task. Learn how you can become involved.
It only takes a drop to make a river. And all we have to do is just make sure that we are in the right direction, we are committed to it, and it will get done.
Rotary International. Ordinary people working together to accomplish extraordinary things.
Good evening, I'm Janet Van Sclaven. I'm the current president of the Rotary Club of Peoria. And on behalf of the Rotary Clubs of Peoria, Peoria North, Chillicothe, Farmington, and East Peoria, I want to welcome each of you here this evening. While countless people have contributed to making tonight happen, there are a few special groups worthy of recognition and specific welcome. Teachers and administrators. They make the world go round. They educate, they inspire, and they do so much more for our children than is required by their job description. A teacher's guidance to our youth is vital, and the value of their contributions immeasurable. In many ways, we honor their work tonight. So I would ask the students and parents, if you'd please give appreciation to our teachers and administrators here this evening. To the parents and guardians here of the students present, your support and loving encouragement has borne fruit, giving your child, your young adult, that little extra push when needed, providing guidance to navigate choppy waters and difficult obstacles when they arose, providing structure when it was required, relaxing when it wasn't, encouraging, helping, leading, and hoping. Silently watching as your student and your child grew and matured. Sometimes not so silently watching, helping your child to see challenges as opportunities. Courageously finding the strength to step back and let your student take risks, which lead to success. The students that are recognized here this evening honor your work and love tonight. Students, please share your appreciation for your parents and guardians. And for you, students, we most heartily welcome you here to be honored on this Sterling Merit Awards evening. You have accomplished much. You've set high goals for achievement. Through your perseverance and your dedication to excellence, you have accomplished many of those goals. You have committed to excel where others only did what was needed to get by. All of you have worked hard and accepted the support and guidance offered to you by teachers, family, and friends. And for your accomplishments, we honor you tonight. We hope that this evening's recognition of your achievements serves as a cornerstone of the future you build for yourself. The adults who know you, your classmates, and we all see great things ahead for you. And with your continued dedication, those future goals are only a little hard work away. As we congratulate and honor you, please continue to emulate the words of Robert Schuller. There will never be another now. I'll make the most of today. There will never be another me. I'll make the most of myself. To all of you, welcome. Please enjoy this evening because it is a special night prepared just for you.
Good evening. I am Jason Mott. I'm the president-elect for the Rotary Club of Peoria North, and I have the pleasure this evening of introducing all of our special guests up here with me on stage. To our special guests, as I call your name, please stand and continue standing until everyone is called. We will start with Carly Emkin, Principal, Richwoods High School. If I can ask everybody to hold your applause until I announce everybody, or we'll be here for a while, and I'm sure people want to go home. Next up, Robin McCracken, Principal, Quest Charter Academy. Please hold your applause. Rich Thole, Principal, Princeville High School. Sister Sarah Kowal, Principal, Peoria Notre Dame High School. Annette Coleman, Principal, Peoria High School. Terry Mooney, Principal, Peoria Heights High School. Jeremy Garrett, Principal, Peoria Christian High School. Devon Hawks, Principal, Manual Academy. Charles Zimmerman, Principal, Limestone Community High School. Mr. Ryan Byers, Rotary District 6460 Governor. Bernie Drake, Sterling Merit Committee, Rotary Club of Peoria. Randy Neff, Sterling Merit Committee, Rotary Club of Peoria. Dr. Steven Standiford, President, Bradley University. Janet Bance Glavin, President, Rotary Club of Peoria. Kenton Bergman, Principal, Illinois Valley Central High School. Keith Brown, Principal, Illini Bluffs High School. Dennis McMillan, Principal, Farmington Central High School. Anthony McCoy, Principal, Elmwood High School. Cassandra Brown, Assistant Principal, East Peoria Community High School. Dr. Scott Adron, Principal, Dunlap High School. Bill Robeson, Principal, Brimfield High School. Roger Alvey, Superintendent, Illini Bluffs School District. Chad Allison, Superintendent, Illinois Valley Central School District. Dr. Alan Gresham, Superintendent, Limestone Community High School. Shannon Dooling, Superintendent, Princeville School District. Dr. Sharon Desmond Karat, Superintendent, Peoria Public Schools 150. Dr. Tanya Jenkins, Quest Academy Executive Director. Eric Heath, Superintendent, Peoria Heights School District. Dr. Angie Lyons, Superintendent, Peoria Christian High School. Dr. Sharon Weiss, Superintendent, Catholic Diocese of Peoria. Dr. Beth Kreider, Regional Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Charles Swaim, VP of Academic Affairs, Illinois Central College. Dr. Zach Chatterton, Superintendent, Farmington School District. Dr. Chad Wagner, Superintendent, Elmwood School District. Lori Loreto, Assistant Superintendent, East Peoria Community High School. Dr. Scott Dearman, Superintendent, Dunlap High School. Tony Chanal, Superintendent, Brimfield School District. And Leslie Matuzak, Peoria Magazine.
Because most of you Sterling Merit recipients who are here tonight will shortly be going on to college, I too want to put in a plug, as Governor Byers did, for Rotaract. Rotaract is a Rotary-sponsored service club for young men and women age 18 to 30. Rotaract clubs are either community or university-based and are sponsored by local Rotary clubs. This makes them true partners in service and key members of the Rotary family. Both Bradley University and Illinois Central College have very active Rotaract clubs. For those of you who are headed to Bradley or ICC next year, we hope you will check out the club when you get on the campus. For those of you attending other colleges and universities, as Governor Byers pointed out, we encourage you to go to the Rotary International website and find out what's available in the area where you are going. Also, very important, after completing 24 hours of college credit, there are scholarship opportunities available from Rotary, and some are for study in abroad programs. Rotary International website provides scholarship details, criteria, and application information.
My name is Randy Neff, and I am with the Rotary Club of Peoria, and it is my pleasure and my honor to introduce the keynote speaker for tonight's Sterling Merit Awards banquet. Dr. Steven Standiford is the 12th president of Bradley University, established in 1897. Dr. Standiford began his tenure at Bradley in May of 2020. Prior to joining Bradley, Dr. Standiford served as the Dean of Butler University's Andre B. Lacey School of Business since 2014. Previously, he served as the Dean of the Business School at the University of Evansville. Dr. Standiford earned a BS in Chemical Engineering from Purdue University, an MBA from Northwestern University, and a doctorate in Organization Studies from the University of Oregon. Dr. Standiford is passionate about student success and served on the Equity Working Group for Black Student Access and Success in Illinois Higher Education. He currently serves on the board of Distillery Labs and the CE Council in Peoria. He and his wife Vivian were co-chairs of the Pillar Society 2021 United Way campaign, and he is the co-chair of the Easter Seals Community Rally this year. Dr. Standiford has two daughters, Serana, who is 13, and Brianna, who is 9. Please welcome Dr. Steven Standiford.
Thank you, Randy, for that kind introduction, and thank you all for being here. I am so excited to be part of tonight's event, surrounded by these amazing educators, incredibly supportive parents, and of course, the outstanding students. And if you'll allow me, what I'd like to do is I'd like to really direct my comments towards the students that are here today. And I want to start out my comments by doing something just a little bit different. I actually want to start with a knock-knock joke. Now, you all know how this works, right? I say knock-knock, and you say? Okay, great. So you got the idea. So knock-knock. Be yourself, be you. So it's interesting, that little tidbit actually came from my then 10-year-old daughter, Serana. And the reason I wanted, she's now 13, actually she's 12, about to turn 13, about to turn 18 in her head. But she shared that with me a couple years ago, and I wanted to share it with you because it really becomes a big part of my overall theme for my comments today. And that really is this focus on being yourself, being you, spending time to discover who you really are and identifying the path that is right for you. So the reason I'm so passionate about that topic, I thought I'd tell you just a little bit about my background. Randy did a wonderful job of introducing a little bit about my background, but there's a piece to it that I thought you might find interesting because it's relevant to the conversation. So as I was in high school, and I was in the position many of you are in today, I was one of these individuals that was particularly good at math and science, right? So I was good at math and science. I enjoyed math and science. So everybody said, go be an engineer, right? Good math and science, you should be an engineer. So, of course, I decided to go down that path. I actually, as Randy mentioned, I went to Purdue University to study engineering, ultimately did get a chemical engineering degree as a result of that experience. But even as I was going through that process, it was about my junior year that I really realized engineering was not right for me, right? I figured out that was not the right path for me. I did graduate with my engineering degree. I went on to work for a while, a company called Amoco, and I was an okay engineer. I wasn't a great engineer, I was an okay engineer. And the reason I was just okay is it wasn't my passion, it wasn't my calling. It's interesting, during my time at Purdue, I was involved in a variety of different things, and I had the pleasure of serving as the student body president my last year on campus. And one of my mentors at the time was the dean of students, an individual named Betty Nelson. Always have a phenomenal influence on me. And during that time is when I was really not clear on what I wanted to do. So I remember I was meeting with Dean Nelson, and I walked into her office, and I literally said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I loved her response. She said, well, the challenge is it's the wrong question. The question isn't what do you become when you grow up. The question is, how many things can you experience as you grow up? And I've come to really, over the years, appreciate the wisdom of her insights. Because what I discovered is once I allowed myself to go on a journey, I eventually did find what I was passionate about. And when I did, I was absolutely hooked. So Randy mentioned I joined Bradley University in May of 2020. You may remember that was kind of a strange time. Some weird things were happening in 2020. It was a strange time to be joining the university. And it's been an interesting 2 years. It has, in many ways, been a brutal 2 years to be a university president, right? So one of the things we did over the last couple years is I had to make a variety of really unpopular decisions. The one that proved to be perhaps the most unpopular is when we decided to cancel spring break 1 year. I got a lot of feedback on that one, by the way. So that was, part of the job, but not necessarily the most fun. One of the things that was really, really challenging, one of the secrets of university presidents is the things that we worry about the most is the safety, health, and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff. That's our number one priority always. And that was very, very stressful these last 2 years. And of course, there were a lot of unknown financials, right? There was a lot of concerns about finances. We got through it very well. Actually, Bradley's in really good financial position, but we didn't know where it was going to be 2 years ago. And in many ways, it was an exhausting 2 years. And one of the questions I'll periodically get is people will ask, if I knew then what I know now, would I still have taken on the role? And the answer is absolutely, because I absolutely love what I do. Look, whatever you do, you're going to have good days and bad days. I don't care what job you take on, what path you pursue. You're going to have good days and bad days. But if you love what you do, if you truly love what you do, you'll find the energy to get through even some of the darkest times. And boy, have we had an opportunity to test that over the last couple years. And what I want for each of you, what I really want for each of you is I want you to find that thing that you absolutely love. What is that thing you're absolutely passionate about? Because I'm confident that if you find that thing, you will be wildly successful and happy at the same time. If you find the path that is right for you, you will have an amazing life. I really think it is that simple. So it's interesting, given where you're at in your academic careers right now, I'm assuming that many of you are debating what is the right field of study for you, right? You're probably getting lots of conversations around what are you going to study, where are you going to go, what are you going to do? And if you're doing that, you've probably figured out there are more than a few resources to help you through that process, right? So there are all kinds of information out there around job prospects, what are the hot jobs, what are the places that are the careers that are going to give you the highest happiness, what careers lead to the greatest mobility. And again, there's a lot of guides, lots of information, perhaps suggesting what you should do. And I'm going to be a little bit controversial tonight and say that regardless, whatever the guides say, there is no one right answer here. Because the correct path is the path that is right for you and you alone. Look, engineering's a great path, right? So we have a great engineering program at Bradley University. We graduate a lot of awesome engineers. I get to meet a lot of our alums through what I do. And I see the amazing careers and the amazing lives that they've had, right? It's the right path for them. That was not the right path for me. But one of the things that I find encouraging is regardless of your chosen path, I'm a strong advocate that there's always room for the top 5% performers, right? So whether you want to be in dance, you want to go into engineering, you want to be an academic administrator, right? If you truly do what you love, you will be successful. So I go back to my opening comments. Be yourself, be you, and be successful. The art of this is not finding something optimal as defined by others. The art of success, as I see it, is finding the path that is right for you. And if you are successful at doing this, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like in just a second, but if you are successful at doing this, your life will be amazing. I love my life because I found the path that's right for me. What's interesting is if you don't find the path that's right for you, it won't necessarily be amazing. And I know this in part by what I see happening often in higher education today. So there's lots of conversation right now. If you read the media, you watch the news, there's lots of conversation today around the value of higher education. And a lot of the criticism of my field comes from the low graduation rate we see throughout the country. And a good benchmark for graduation rate, the number we follow a lot and pay a lot of attention to is the sixth-year graduation rate. And the reason we pick this as our benchmark, why do we care so much about the six-year graduation rate, is because it allows some flexibility, right? So many, as you know, many college degrees are designed around graduating in 4 years. Some are actually designed to be 5-year programs. Some of them end up being 6-year programs for a variety of reasons, right? Life happens, maybe you need to step out for family reasons for a semester or two. I actually took 5 years for my degree. I was very, very involved. I was in the Purdue Varsity Glee Club. I was student body president. I was involved in a multitude of activities that actually delayed my graduation. But one of the things we know is that after 6 years, if you haven't finished in 6 years, in all likelihood, you're not going to finish, right? So that to us is a really good measure. How many people graduate after 6 years? So interestingly, the national average 6-year graduation rate from colleges and universities in the United States last year was 57.6%. That means less than 60% of the people that started 6 years ago actually finished their degree. And that, in my opinion, is a horrific number. That is, in many ways, a failure of higher education. Now, our numbers are, Bradley, and probably a lot of the schools that some of you are considering are actually quite a bit better. We're actually north of 75. But even, and by industry standards, we're doing quite well. But to me, that's still not okay. We have to do better. We have got to do better and pick up that graduation rate. And to me, it's a failure of higher education, but not in a way that you may think, right? It's not a failure in the value of education. One of the things that we know, there's a lot of research that still says that if you obtain your degree, the return on that degree is quite high, right? And you can look at it a couple different ways. I mean, if you just want to be a good old-fashioned mathematician and say, do you get a return on your education investment? We actually literally use that term in our strategic plan at Bradley University, return on educational investment. It depends somewhat on your major, but the reality is it pays off, right? It pays in anywhere from the tens to hundreds to sometimes millions of dollars. And so the return on educational investment is huge. And more importantly, one of the things that I see as perhaps the most important value of a college education is it allows you to do the things that you want to do. I myself, I'm a first-generation college student. No one else from my family had the opportunity to go to college. And as a result of my experience, I have been able to see and do things that other people in my family have not been able to see or do. I've had a richness of life that no one else in my family has had. So the value of a college degree remains very high. The failure is when students don't finish. That's the challenge that I see today in higher education. Now, why does that happen? Why do people start college and not finish? Lots of research on this as well, and we do a fair amount of surveys. If we have a student that doesn't complete Bradley University, we try to follow up, we try to understand why did they not complete, what's the source behind that. And it comes out in surveys of one of three things, right? It was the finances, couldn't afford to do it, my grades didn't keep up, and then the third one, and these balance out pretty evenly in our surveys, is I just didn't fit in here. And it's interesting because if you tear that data apart a little bit, we have good optics into things like finances, right? And we have a sense of what people can and cannot afford to be able to do, and I feel pretty confident in saying, look, there are going to be rare exceptions, but for the most part, if you want to finish a degree, we can work with you and figure out how to financially make that happen. That's not something that should be holding you back. The other factor that comes in is grades, right? Of course, grades matter, and sometimes people get themselves into trouble with grades, but the grades is an interesting one. It's been my experience is if you love what you're studying, your grades are usually fine. And the grades are more a reflection of the individual not finding the path that is right for them and trying to make something that doesn't work well for them fit, and when it doesn't, their grades tend to suffer. And then the last piece that we often hear is, I just didn't fit in. And to me, that just screams, you didn't find the path that was right for you. And so when I look at all these underlying causes, and when you see somebody not complete after 6 years, the underlying force that I see behind all of it is it was an individual quite often that did not find the path that was right for them. If you find the path that is right for you, I feel very confident you will be successful, you will have an amazing college experience, and your college degree will become a path to success. So again, I come back to this overarching piece, this huge piece of advice. If there's one thing you take away from everything I share with you tonight, is this idea is spend the time to find the path that is right for you. And if you do this, your return on educational investment will be strong. So I go back to my advice from Dean Betty Nelson, back when I was an undergraduate student. It's not about what you become when you grow up. It's about how many things you experience as you grow up, and when the right thing arrives, you'll know it. So regardless where you go, I'd love to see you all at Bradley University. By the way, I'll put in a plug since I'm here. I'd love to see you at Bradley University, but regardless of where you go, the one thing I will say is be open to new experiences, be open to new possibilities. The term I often use with our students is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Do things that stretch you. Do things that make you think differently, because that's where a lot of your greatest discoveries often appear. You know, one of the things, news is going to come out soon about one of the most recent rankings around internships. We'll do very well, by the way. And a lot of our students will have multiple internships. And I often say a failed internship is often very powerful because it helps you identify what you don't want to do. So every new experience you have is an opportunity to discover. So be open to the possibilities, because you may discover things you never anticipated. There's a quote that's often attributed to Confucius, and the quote goes something to the extent, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I'll expand on that a little bit and say, if the student's not ready, the teacher won't matter. Are you ready? Are you open to the possibilities? Okay, so I know many of you are taking next steps in your education journey. And one of the things you may be thinking is, this is great, what does that actually look like in a higher education environment? Well, if we're serious about helping you find your path, and I know many universities are very serious about this today, I know we are at Bradley University, we have to start thinking a little bit differently about how we operate. And that's something we're working on pretty hard at our university right now. And one of the things that ends up being pretty important in all of this is curricular flexibility, right? I've been interacting with, finally after 2 years, been able to get out and do events and interact with some of our students. And I was meeting one of our, she's a junior, and this is like a month ago. So she's in her third of 4 years, and she told me she's changing her major, right? And usually, I can even see some eyebrows go up as I say that, right? Because like, oh my gosh, you're a junior, you're changing your major. That's crazy, you're not gonna be able to finish. I look at it as a victory, right? Because she's identified that the path she was on was not the right path for her, and perhaps this new major is. So one of the things we have to do is we have to get comfortable helping our students make those changes when necessary, and to do that, we got to get a little bit more flexible in how we do our curriculum. Another thing we have to rethink is how we do advising. One of the things that will often happen is when you go to a university, you'll be assigned an advisor based on your declared major. So maybe you decide you want to be a math major, and you go in and you have this math advisor, which is great as long as you want to study math. And as soon as that changes, suddenly now you find yourself in the situation where your advisor is really unable to help you. So one of the things we've got to do is start thinking about advising differently. And it's got to be advising around the journey, not around the major. We're doing that in a couple different ways. We're breaking up our advising process to make it more holistic in its approach. We're also introducing some coaching functions. But again, all of this is an opportunity to help our students pursue paths that may be different than what they initially pursued. And then the other one, and this is something that a lot of universities do really well, and pay attention to this because I think it ends up being a really important part of your academic journey, is engage in as many experiential opportunities as you can. A lot of these will happen outside of the classroom. Right? There's a lot of great learning that goes on in the classroom. There's a lot of great learning that goes on outside of the classroom. And I encourage you to engage in as many of these activities as you can. Again, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's in those uncomfortable positions where you often learn things you never imagined. And that is such a powerful component of helping you identify your true calling. So I'll give you one example of what that looks like for us. We had an alum who recently graduated who I think did this process well, and hopefully we helped him along the way. It's a young man named Pierre Paul. I talk about Pierre Paul a lot. Some of you may have heard of this story before. But Pierre came to us from Ohio, and he came to study political science. Knew what he wanted to do, wanted to study political science, joined our speech team. We have a world-class speech team. He's going to be part of our speech team, going to study political science. He's going to become a politician. His path in his mind was set. So then he comes to campus. He engages in a variety of experiences. And during one of the experiences that he was involved in, this is not in the classroom, this was actually, believe it or not, at a Starbucks, he saw one of his colleagues who is hard of hearing was having a difficult time ordering a coffee. So he tells me that in a dream, literally in a dream, he decided what he was going to do is he was going to create an app that translates sign language into verbal language. And apparently that's really difficult to do. I didn't know that, but apparently it is. The Microsofts and Googles of the world could do it if you had a glove on, but they couldn't figure out how to do it otherwise. So Pierre wakes up the next day. He reaches out to a professor in computer science. He then connects with some faculty in our engineering program. He connects with the business school. And from all of these conversations, works with our Turner School of Entrepreneurship, and from all of these conversations, creates an organization called We Hear You. And they, in fact, have created an app that translates sign language into verbal language. And I have no doubt they're going to be wildly successful. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this story, and I've confirmed all of this just to make sure I got it all right, I confirmed it with Pierre and some other folks, is he did, in fact, graduate with a degree in political science. And the last time I checked, there's absolutely nothing in the political science degree that talks about computer science, engineering, or business. But that's okay, because it's not about the degree. It's not about the major. It's about helping people like Pierre Paul identify the path that is right for them. This is higher education at its best. This, in my mind, is the true value of higher education. So whether you come to Bradley University or elsewhere, my encouragement to you is be curious, be open to the possibilities, and I can't say this enough, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Do things that stretch you, and engage in a multitude of experiences, and do all this so that you can identify the path that is right for you and you alone. And when you do this, your life will be amazing. If you already know your path, great, go for it. For most of you, was for me the case, it was not about what I was going to become when I grew up, but how many experiences I could have as I was growing up. And when I found the right path, life was amazing. So I'll conclude where I started. Knock, knock. All right. Your future, and it's yours for the making. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Standiford, for those words of wisdom. I was shocked that you have been here 2 years. I don't know where I have been the last 2 years. I think I do know. But so we are really happy that you are here in Peoria. We give you an official Rotary welcome to Peoria, and we're glad you're here and at Bradley. So thank you very much. This is the 63rd Annual Sterling Merit Awards. The Sterling Merit Awards program was started by the Junior League of Peoria during the 1959-1960 school year. The Rotary Club of Peoria took over the program in 1968. In the early years of the program, only 6 schools participated in the banquet. We are proud that the Sterling Merit family now includes every high school in Peoria County, East Peoria Community High School, and 5 sponsoring Rotary clubs. The awards banquet is the highlight of the year for many area Rotarians. Our clubs jointly sponsor this event as part of Rotary's long tradition of community service, especially in the area of education. As Governor Byers told you earlier, Rotary is an international service organization. Working together, Rotarians have helped to foster international peace and understanding, to build stronger communities, and to promote humanitarian projects around the world. Most notably, Rotary has been the leader in the effort to eradicate polio worldwide. Service above self is the motto of Rotary, and all Rotarians. The foundation for Rotarians is the 4-way test. It applies to the things we think, we say, and we do. There are 4 questions that make up the 4-way test. Number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Rotarians believe the 4-way test is an excellent philosophy by which to live. The Sterling Merit Banquet is just one of many initiatives of the Peoria area Rotary clubs. But we feel tonight's purpose, published in your banquet program, is very important and worth reiterating. The Sterling Merit Awards Banquet, in honoring these high school graduates who have attained the highest standing in their class, adds to the incentive for scholastic achievement through public recognition. It is our hope that the connotation of sterling, which applies equally to these students and their awards, will encourage all of you to continually search for quality in every endeavor. Peoria area Rotarians believe we make our community stronger by recognizing you, the 2022 Sterling Merit Award recipients, for your academic achievement. 185 students were in the top 8% of their class. We salute you with these awards, which you have truly earned. Parents and guardians, we invite you to take photos as your students are giving their awards, and we encourage you to come on up to the front here so you can get a better picture. We do ask, however, that you hold all group photos until the end of the banquet. There is a backdrop set up out in the concourse area for you to use. You can also use this program area with the emblem back here as a backdrop if you want, but please, no group photos until after the banquet is over. It is an honor for the 5 sponsoring Rotary clubs to present the 2022 Sterling Merit recipients. President Janet Blanche-Gavin and President Mott will present these awards. And to introduce our first recipients, we have Brimfield High School Principal Bill Robinson.
On behalf of Mr. Tony Chenal and Brimfield 309, thank you for the opportunity to honor our elite students. The Brimfield guests of honor are Andrew Bryant, Haley Grothaus, Thomas Harmon, Jada Hill, Justin Kirkland, Alexandra Vasquez.
Presenting the recipients from Dunlap High School is Principal Dr. Scott Adrian.
On behalf of Dunlap CUSD 323 and Dr. Scott Dearman, I'm proud to recognize Dunlap High School's best. First, Paige Ackley. Mahek Banga. Amanda Barnes. Brooklyn Chatterton. Mahika Desai. David Harris. Noah Hopkins. Nathan Hugh. Eden Jen. Davina Joshi. Ashlyn Kelly. Hamza Khan. Caitlin Krusewick. Kyla Mary Leone. Rohan Nahagraj. Pranav Nair. Emma Postian. Amy Perez. Andrew Perez. Celeste Peters. Madison Shaberg. Logan Silzer. Nathan Spencer. Connor Thompson and Carissa Wagenbach.
Presenting the recipients from East Peoria Community High School is Assistant Principal Cassandra Brown. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to do Elmwood first. So for the recipients from Elmwood High School is Principal Anthony McCoy.
On behalf of the Elmwood 322 community, I'd like to read the names of our Sterling Merit winners. Nicholas Feller, Annie Herman, and Noah Hollis.
Presenting the recipients from Farmington High School is Principal Dennis McMillan.
Farmington Central High School is proud of its Sterling Merit recipients: Emma Evans, Abigail Fauché, Aiden Fauché, Olivia Marcotte, Adrian Morse, Holly Schreiber, Laura Stevens, and Gracelyn Ohm.
Presenting the recipients from East Peoria High School is Assistant Principal Cassandra Brown.
On behalf of District 309, our honorees are Clara Beck, Kiera Brace, Bree Despines, Kelsey Griffin, Alexandra Henshaw, Madeline Angolia, Allison McAlay, Hannah Moeller, Emmanuel Nauman, George Navoa, Bryn Osborne, Kaylee Page, Tess Schneblin, Emma Stanger, Adam Teeney, Isabel Van Winkle, Griffin Watson, and Bryce Woodard.
Presenting the recipients from Illini Bluffs High School is Principal Keith Brown.
On behalf of the Illini Bluffs community, Dr. Alvey, our Board of Education and faculty and staff would like to thank the Rotary for putting this event on every year. It's a great event. The best from Illini Bluffs are Ashley Exun, Aubrey Brinkman, Maya Crowder, Elena Robertson, and Maddie Schutte.
Presenting the recipients from Illinois Valley Central High School is Principal Keaton Bergman.
Good evening. On behalf of the Illinois Valley Central School District, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2022 Sterling Merit Award recipients from IVC High School. 3 are missing this evening: Sam Elahi, Noah Chase, and Jaden McNaught. And we'll start with Elena Cahill. Bryn Conklin. Reese Hankins. John Horn. Logan Sanders. Addison Schmidt. Laura Schultz. Jalen Stouthammer. Grace Walenta.
Presenting the recipients from Limestone Community High School is Principal Charles Zimmerman.
Good evening. On behalf of Limestone Community High School, District 310, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Alan Gresham, I have the privilege tonight to announce the best of the best from Limestone Community High School. Isaac Anderson. Courtney Bagenow. Franklin Driscoll. Kaylin Garkey. Mallory Helmig. Emiliana Holt. Clayton Marvin. Michael Moon. Charlie Potts. Ava White.
Presenting the recipients from Manual Academy, Principal Devin Hawks. Javon.
Good evening. On behalf of Peoria Public Schools Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Sharon Demula-Karat, and the Manual High School faculty and staff, I present the Manual High School Class of 2022 Sterling Merit recipients: Sarah E. Cardona Sainz, Anna Clore, Kiana Crowder, Anaí Lopez, Kamaria Morris, Jasmine Ochoa, Yisel Perez Vega, Natalie Rodriguez, Alexis Smith, Natalie Vargas, Kalia Walker, and Deja Williams Hawkins, who is not here. Thank you.
Presenting the recipients from Peoria Christian High School, Principal Jeremy Garrett.
On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Angie Lyons and the Peoria Christian School Board of Education, we want to thank the Rotary for this opportunity. Tonight we recognize a young man and 3 young women who can think and reason with a biblical worldview in a demanding and competitive world. Emma Borop, Claire Chisholm, Cooper Jones, and not present Sophia Wake. Congratulations.
Presenting the recipients from Peoria Heights High School, Principal Terry Mooney.
Good evening. On behalf of the Peoria Heights 325 Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Eric Heath, I would like to introduce the Peoria Heights recipients. Mariah Brown, Riley Ernest, Rissa Foster, and J.C. Stone.
Presenting the recipients from Peoria High School, Principal Annette Coleman.
On behalf of Peoria Public Schools Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Karat, and the Peoria High School faculty and staff, I would like to thank the Rotary Club for this opportunity. I present the Peoria High School class of 2022 Sterling Merit. Guadalupe Aguilera, Annalie Alcaide, Nadia Alton, Miles Andrew, Simone Baptiste, Kiana Bond, Maite Garcia, Taylor Godina, Mariah Hanson, Joseph Hierman, Cammie Hess, Jack Highfield, Caroline Kellerstrass, Marilyn Laws, Rayla Lee, Nevea Laus, Justice Amawumi, Olivia Parker. Ariana Smith. Deamber Smith. Macy Webster. Jatia Yankaway. The Sterling Merit students from the pride of the city, Peoria High School.
Presenting the recipients from Peoria Notre Dame High School, Principal Sister Sarah Cowell.
Thank you. On behalf of Dr. Weiss, Superintendent of the Catholic Diocese of Peoria, I am proud to introduce our Sterling Merit Award winners, who we are very proud of for all that they have done, but more so who they are, men and women of virtue and character. I present to you Macy Cave, Braden Culp, William Culp, Mikkel Flores, John Fredrickson, Daniel Gusweiler, Abigail Halberg, Abigail Hacher, Thomas Miller, Jamison Spears, Ellen Tomlins, and Daniel Ward.
Presenting the recipients from Princeville High School, Principal Rich Thole.
Good evening. On behalf of the entire Princeville community and our superintendent, Mr. Shannon Dooling, it is my pleasure to introduce the Sterling Merit recipients from Princeville High School. Grant Hunt. Olivia Menold. Caitlin Thole. And unable to attend this evening, Dakota McGuire. Congratulations.
Presenting the recipients from Quest Charter Academy, Principal Robin McCracken.
On behalf of the Quest Charter Academy Board of Directors and Dr. Jenkins, the Executive Director, it is my honor to present the Quest Sterling Merit winners for 2022. Kamar Daly. Toriana Holly. Jade Mitchell. Karen Orozco. Jesus Perez. And Giselle Ware Grant.
Presenting the recipients from Richwoods High School, Principal Carly Emkin.
Good evening. On behalf of Peoria Public Schools, Dr. Karat, and our Richwoods faculty and staff, I would like to thank the Rotary for honoring our exceptional students. I am honored to recognize the Richwoods High School class of 2022 Sterling Merit recipients. Sarah Allen, Nethmi Boparachi, Grant Capel, Kate Converse, Ashton Custer, Genevieve Day, Mia Doty, Peyton Down, Lauren Elderazi, Kelsey Hayes, Maxwell Hogan, Neil Colmer, Abigail Mayer, Marissa Moser, Sana Nafak, Gavin Patel, Alexandra Plavic, Needy Reddy, Ella Ruskuski, Joseph Settlemeyer, Sophia Suarez, Levi Swisher, Grace Thurkeldson, Catherine Wales, and Isabella Wilson. Not able to attend this evening, Lyric Beckus, Caleb Brinkman, and Nev Kelly. Congratulations to these students.
Another big round of applause for all of our recipients of the Sterling Merit Award. Before I introduce the Outstanding Student Award winners, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the members of the Sterling Merit Committee whose names are listed on the back of your program. This is a very dedicated group, and I appreciate all their hard work. I'm also very grateful to the presidents of the sponsoring Rotary clubs for their participation tonight. I'd like for the Sterling Merit Committee and all Rotarians in the audience tonight to please stand. Join me in thanking them for this evening. We are delighted to announce a partnership with Peoria Magazine. The magazine will feature an article on this banquet and pictures of all of the recipients of the Sterling Merit Awards in their June issue. We are grateful to Peoria Magazine for this partnership, and we thank them for providing this recognition to the area's outstanding seniors. Joining us tonight from Peoria Magazine is Leslie Matuzak. Leslie, please stand for recognition. And if you want to find out how to get a Peoria Magazine, see Leslie afterwards. She'll have all the information for you. I would also like to acknowledge at this time and thank our major sponsors for this evening's banquet. Platinum sponsors, Bill Winkler and Peoria Charter Coach, Heights Finance Corporation, and OSF Children's Hospital. Gold sponsors, Dr. William Albers and Josh Herman of Miller, Hall, and Triggs. Silver sponsors, Owen Ackerman, Tom Mayer, Keppel Healthcare Consulting, and State Farm agent Aaron Kilgore. Bronze sponsors, Matt McCullough of IT360, who did all of our video and screen work tonight, Donald Hartshorn, Adam Hawks, Jason and Kristen Mott, Peoria High School Alumni Association, and Susie Stockman. Please refer to the table tents on your table to acknowledge all and thank all sponsors, including student sponsors for this banquet. We were able to provide video during the evening and also reduce the ticket prices and issue parking passes to the students due to the generous response from our Rotary sponsors. Let's give them a big round of applause. I am happy to announce the winners of the Outstanding Student Awards. One student from each school has been selected by his and her peers to receive special recognition for demonstrating exemplary leadership, activity, participation, character, and the ability to get along with others. We also asked the students to consider the principles of the Rotary four-way test when they were making their selection. Each winner will have his or her name placed on a Sterling Merit plaque that is kept at their school. In addition, each winner receives a special certificate in recognition of their achievement. District Governor Ryan Bays will be presenting the certificates. As I announce the name of the winners, I'll announce it one school at a time. I ask the winners to please come to the presentation platform. After receiving your award, you may return to your seat. Presenting the 2022 Outstanding Student Awards. From Brimfield High School, Thomas Harmon. From Dunlap High School, Noah Hopkins. From East Peoria Community High School, Clara Beck. From Elmwood High School, Noah Hollis. From Farmington Central High School, Aiden Fauché. From Illini Bluffs High School, Elena Robertson. From Illinois Valley Central High School, Reese Hankins. From Limestone Community High School, Franklin Driscoll. From Manual Academy, Alexis Smith. From Peoria Christian High School, Cooper Jones. From Peoria Heights High School, Rissa Foster. From Peoria High School, Olivia Parker. From Peoria Notre Dame High School, Braden Culp. From Princeville High School, Grant Hunt. From Quest Charter Academy, Giselle Ware Grant. From Richwoods High School, Joseph Settlemeyer. Another round of applause for all of our outstanding student award winners. Congratulations to each of the outstanding student winners for receiving this special recognition from your fellow students. A special thanks to John Day, who accompanied us on the piano during the medallion presentation. John, please stand and be recognized. Students, before we conclude this special evening of recognition and celebration, we Rotarians, your school district superintendents, principals, and other special guests want to join you in acknowledging the very significant role your parents and guardians have played in your achievement. Parents and guardians of the 2022 Sterling Merit winners, please stand and be Again, our personal congratulations to all. Students, we wish you continued success in all your endeavors, and we hope you will make Rotary a part of your future. You are welcome to use this presentation platform for pictures. We are adjourned. Have a good evening.